1960, when I was going out with my first husband. He was involved with CYMS on a Sunday night, and I used to follow that every Sunday. Through when I was playing at Coburg in a domestic competition, I didn't like the call that certain referee gave me, and I voiced my opinion, which he backed it up with a technical foul and told me, why don't I get through a referee school and know what it's like, which I did, and thanks to Ian Isle, and that's where I started. Gordon Busby at Coburg.
How long ago was that?
In 1972, and Gordon pushed me to get my level C, which I got, and then I wanted to go for my A grade, even though I probably didn't think I deserved it, but I wanted to go for it. And he gave me my B+.
B+?
Which I'd never heard of, and he said, well, you're just that much off A grade. Mainly domestic. I did my first game on court 1 that I was asked to do one night, and I was absolutely terrified to go to court 1, and I did it with Rob Barnett, and as I recall it was St Kilda and Coburg. I think they were called Coburg Giants at the time, and I asked him could he help me because I was so scared, and he said, we'll get there, don't worry about it. So I wasn't very enlightened, and I went on to the court. He threw up the ball. I thought, if I don't get the first whistle in, I'm dead. So I called my first foul, and to my amazement, I didn't even have the whistle around my neck. And I thought, oh. And I said, the foul's on you, but wait. And I ran straight to the bench, put the whistle on, came back and said, foul's still on you. And with that, everybody just roared. I then went on to be a night supervisor, which suited me far better.
Where at?
At Albert Park.
Oh.
And at the same time, I was involved at Coburg as a night supervisor, doing that, and also Collingwood.
Oh, good.
Well, several with married ladies, which you don't call them married ladies now because most of them aren't. Sorry. And midweek ladies, right? And I did Albert Park, I did Keilor, I've done Bulleen, I've done Diamond Valley, and then did several games at the showgrounds for my friends Val and Dave Hilberg for many years, refereed out there with them and their contingent. Did numerous school games. We do the married ladies in the morning, then we go and do school games in the afternoon, and then we go on to referee the seniors at night. So nowhere near as friendly, nowhere near. A little bit of cutthroat all round. I think too many of our officials are a bit self-opinionated.
What about officiating? How has officiating changed?
3-man officiating, I don't care what anyone tells me, I don't like. They do not wear out their shoe leather, so they will never retire. Humility. The main thing is knowing the rules, and I'm not really good at them myself because I've made some good blunders over the years, and I'm sure any decent referee that's honest would say the same thing. And I still think there are a few referees out there that tend to look after the better players. The better players make the mistakes, they should be penalised no differently. First of all, Les did. He was just an icon. because you never knew what to expect, and that was always a challenge. I reffed quite a few games with Les myself, and as much as he would help you, you still had fun. And once the fun goes out of basketball, I think a lot of people lose out. I have we've had a lot of dealings with several interstate referees over our years with Jim and myself, that in years gone by where there was no such thing as bringing the interstate referees to Victoria and putting them up in a motel. No, they had to stay with somebody, so they would get billeted out. And 99% of the time it was Jim and myself. We went to the airport, picked them up, brought them back to our home, and then took them to their games. Many a time we've had to travel miles and miles with them, but it was indeed a pleasure. We've got an awful lot of friends and still our friends today. So that's been a pleasure. And that draws my attention to a game at Coburg, where I was refereeing Coburg Giants against Bullets, which in those days they went out and they played hard.
Men's basketball?
Yeah, men's basketball. They played hard. And the ball got lodged in between the backboard and the ring, and I just took one look and thought, I ain't getting up there. And with that, poor Frankie just walked over and he said, righto, shorty, up you go, and just pushed me straight up to release the ball. It was quite humorous. One was doing a game on Court 7 at Albert Park with Les Dick, and he was still trying to get me to my A grade, and he was helping me a lot. And he called me and he said, get through, come through. And I knew I didn't have to switch. And I thought, why is he making me switch? And I'm shaking my head and he's still telling me to come on. Well, he has to know what he's doing. And I walked into the biggest gas meter I've ever had in my life. And my reply wasn't as good. His reply was, did you like that one? My reply can't be repeated. I did tell a referee that he wrecked like a pregnant pasty. Not that I know what a pregnant pasty wrecks like. And I did get knocked really badly in a game where I threw the ball up, and instead of stepping back like I should have, I looked to see if I'd thrown the ball up high enough and got thumped on the head and got knocked out and couldn't ref my next game, so I wasn't happy about that. Probably the bronze medal in the Masters Games in Melbourne and the gold medal in Alice Springs, even though I didn't really climb the ladder as a referee. I felt, well, I achieved that, and I'm not just a housewife. I felt quite proud of myself for a change. My first husband and I were the actual founders of Diamond Valley. Regardless of what other people may tell you, we have documentation that we were, and we paid for all the training of the children ourselves. So that's something that I'm quite proud of. Yes, which I thoroughly enjoy. I love being able to help the younger ones. I probably have got a funny way about me. I try to talk to the kids as they should be spoken to and not down to. I talk to them, not down to. And I believe that a lot of the kids respect me, and that's more important, to get respect. I think I can let them realise that you don't always have to be perfect to enjoy doing a game. But all games should be reffed the same way, the rules are all the same, and I can't see why there has to be a difference. A foul's a foul, and that's that. You can't change it. But I do believe the kids don't study enough these days, and there's still too much emphasis on money. I've been on the Albert Park committee, And I've
As the
also,
referees?
as a referee. I've also been on at Coburg and at Collingwood, and for the last 19 years at VBRA. I love Coburg. Possibly because I started there, so my alliance was with Coburg. And the fact that their stadium burnt down and everything else and had to rebuild again. And I believe I had more friendship at Coburg. To reach the top, to go out and do their best and never feel afraid to make a call. Because sometimes I feel they're reluctant to make a call because they feel they're going to be wrong. You don't make mistakes, you can't learn. So therefore we have to make mistakes. Jim, my husband, he has told me to believe in myself and do the best you can. And that's what I believe I've put into my life and my children's life and my grandchildren's life. I believe that. And I hope that's happened. I believe the country basketball has better programs to offer. They certainly put a bit more effort into training their referees than what Metropolitan do. That's my belief. And most of all, I think the kids today in country are looked after far better than in Metropolitan. It's just that I'm just privileged to have known so many really good people out there and still remain close-knit friends of ours.